Mike, you sold your company for $1.5 billion. How did you start Freshly with just $15? Where is it an opportunity in the market for a 21-year-old kid right now to go and pack? If I took it all away and you start again at zero right now, how would you make your first million? Welcome back to Street Talk, guys. Today we have Mike, the founder of Freshly, who exited for $1.5 billion back in 2020. We're gonna hear his best piece of business advice, what he would do if you're starting today from zero, and what he's currently building. Stay tuned, it's one of my favorite episodes you've ever done. What's up, man? Josh, thanks so much for coming out.
Yeah, that's key in life. It's like, do the job that you would pay to do, and then you're not really working. You guys are doing a very interesting way of like doing the podcast game.
You sold your company for $1.5 billion. It started with just $15 in your pocket. Let's go asking people, if we gave them $15, how would they turn it into a $1 billion business?
Perfect, let's do it.
I want to look for like a hustler.
All right, I want you to predict people before we go up.
I think this guy, the black tees.
Black tea? All
Black
right,
tea.
let's see.
Yo, my man, we ask you a quick question? We got a quick question for you. I'm Josh, nice to meet you.
Sure, love to meet you.
Mike, how's it going?
If we gave you $15 right now, how would you turn it into a $1 billion?
You'd have to start your own company. Like, that's the only way to do it.
What kind of company?
I would aim to find ways to combat water scarcity. I think that's going to be one of the big problems approaching the world. With kind of changing rainfall across the world, the kind of lack of potable water for a lot of countries, trade in water, I think, is going to kind of surpass oil. And I think it's probably not a good thing, but monetizing that would be.
How would you start monetizing that?
You'd have to get reserves. You'd have to start building up kind of ownership of the supply routes, and then charging that back to customers, probably government infrastructure.
That's a pretty good idea.
I think it's
that's a pretty A+ idea.
On the street.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, this is Mike. Mike founded Freshly,
Nice.
the food delivery kit, and he sold it for $1.5 billion, and he started the company with just $15. So we're going around.
My idea wasn't as good as yours when I started.
Yeah, but
You got a
$1
better.
billion
You got
out of it,
well.
so
You
you're
got.
kinda right there.
You got a better starting point. You may need to quit whatever you're doing and jump into this.
Nah, I won't do
Damn, I
that.
feel like we should give you $15 now to go. Would you start this business if we gave you $15?
No, I'm doing what I love.
What are you
What do
doing?
you-
Architecture.
I'm going to put the first $20 into this business.
I can't.
That's the first $20 into
I
the
can't
business.
take that.
You
I don't-
hang on your wall, and when you ever decide that you're going to do it, then you put that in.
And shoot him a
get that
DM,
done.
and he'll
Yeah.
raise your pre-seed.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yes.
I'll give you 1% of it if you mentor it.
Oh, done.
You can raise
Done.
it.
You let me
That's,
know.
Let's go.
That is
Go
good.
start it. Let us know when you raise your Series A.
My man, go get it.
Yeah,
Good stuff, bro.
Good
Nice to meet you as
too.
well.
That was your first street interview. How did that go?
Well, I first street interview turned into an investment. That one, we'll come back in a few years. I think I'm going to make some money off that one.
You're gonna make some money too. Mike, you sold your company for $1.5 billion. How did you start Freshly with just $15?
We started with a great product that just resonated with customers. We went all in, never stopped, turning that $15 into $30, into $60. So it's just using that money really efficiently.
What was your first step in going from 0 to 1 and getting off the ground?
So I think first it's just testing, are other people going to pay for this product? Once they were able to pay for the product, seeing if there's another person who'll pay for the product. And we just kept doing that. There was never, until we sold the business, it was always about, is there someone else who wants our product? And that's how we built a huge business. We were lucky that a lot of people wanted the product.
How did you start making food kits and selling it to strangers?
So ours were fully prepared. I think that's where we were different, is that we thought that people didn't want to cook. All of these meal kits were like having you cook. So we started, I had a restaurant, and we started with to-go meals. We basically had to-go meals that you can heat up. And then we consistently got more and more advanced with different machinery, where we became more of a CPG company, but always around the principle of healthy, no additives, no preservatives. We wanted to make it really easy to eat healthy. And that was always our shtick, is 2 minutes to eat a healthy meal. And that's what our customers wanted. They didn't want to cook, they didn't want the work. They wanted someone else doing all the work for them, and it was phenomenal.
I remember seeing those ads, especially when I was in middle school and high school. I was like, these guys are cranking on social media. Talk to me about being early on Meta. You started on Meta in 2015.
Well, we started on Meta before it was called Meta, back when it was called Facebook, before Facebook had bought Instagram, and we were so early. And that was we just learned a lot of the growth hacks, and there was a lot of early day growth hacks, and we were really good at social. I think we were spending $5 million a month on social. So we were just really good at optimizing that channel, and we stayed laser focused on one channel. So we actually didn't even bring on a second channel until our 4th year of operating.
Mike, you sold your company for $1.5 billion. If I took it all away and you start again at 0 right now, how would you make your first million?
So the first thing I would do is do something that I want to do. And I think sometimes people overestimate the economic returns, which are great. But the best thing about Freshly was the experience. Once you find something you want to do, then it's about grit, hard work, effort. So what I'd say is I would choose a category that has a high margin. So your business is a way better business than mine, high margin. But I would also say, does it naturally fit your skill sets? Everyone has different skill sets. Some people are extroverts, introverts. I work 7 days a week, not because I'm like, I want to, be the cool guy who says I work. I love what I do. Every day I wake up, I'm excited to go to the office. And so it's because I've chosen things I want to do. And that's how you win in business, is you choose things that you want to do, that you're willing to work harder than anyone else because you love it. Focus on the thing that you would pay to do. If you would pay someone to do it, that's the best thing you should do.
What is your zone of genius? You're going to the office, you're fired up, right? For me, I'm a content creator, I'm a marketer, I'm a connector, and I love doing sales. What is it that you're really, really
I'm the inverse of you. I am a process guy.
Okay.
I'm building SOPs. I'm constantly looking at data to say, how do we improve? What do we look at and improve? I choose businesses that are very complicated. So Freshly was a direct-to-consumer business. We deal with manufacturing. We manufactured all our food. We had 2,500 employees. It was a massive, complicated business. That's where my skills thrive. I tend not to be the person who's the rah-rah out in front. That's not my skill set. I am the guy behind the scenes. I'm the operating partner.
Mike, you sniped product market fit with Freshly. Where is it an opportunity in the market for a 21-year-old kid right now to go and attack?
AI. The problem always, if you're 21, is like a 30-year-old has more experience. A 40-year-old has way more experience. But AI is brand new, so you have as much experience and you could go at that. So I would just say anything in the AI category, I would be all over if I was 21. How do I use AI to enable different form factors of businesses that didn't exist? If I wanted to be an entrepreneur and I had no experience, I'd say, I want to choose a category where no one has experience.
Yes.
Because now I have a level playing field. I can do just as well, and now it comes down to work. And if you're willing to hustle and work harder than someone, learn faster than someone, you're going to win.
I also agree with that take as well. My friend, when I was starting Street Talk, he said a very similar thing to me. It was like, you don't want to try and be the best investment banker in New York City. You're going to go up against the world. Could I be the best street interviewer in New York City? Probably. What's the moat to be the best who's being a street interviewer for ads guy in New York?
Yes.
Nobody. So I became the street interviewer for ads guy, and I picked my little niche.
And I would imagine over your course of doing this, you've gotten a lot better. You've learned a lot, right? So there is something that you do need reps doing something to get better at. The great thing is if you choose a category where no one has reps, now it's just about how many reps are you willing to put in. And to your point, it's like, if you go into an established business, there's someone there with 40 years experience, and it's gonna be hard for you to compete with that.
When you sold your company, were you depressed or were you happy?
Now, I think when I left the company a year later, I was depressed because I felt like things didn't go the way I'd want them to go, but I was also aware that when you sell your company, that's the nature of the thing. We were excited for the team, but my depression it lasted for less than a day, and I was on to the next thing. Problem with climbing mountains is eventually you get to the top.
Yes.
You want to get to the top, but when you get to the top, the view lasts, it's great, and then now you got to go back down, right?
Find another mountain.
So you just got to always be finding another mountain. It's called those false peaks, which in hiking is a pain because you think you're at the peak and then you look behind, there's another one. But I think that's what I always say is like your next peak needs to be higher. And you constantly want to just set those goals.
I completely agree. I know too many people that have sold their company and are depressed. And I know too many people that are 21 years old trying to bootstrap an agency that are happier than anyone else in the entire world.
You gotta love the game.
You gotta love the game. I started Street Talk walking around this park, shorts and t-shirt all winter long, pounding the pavement, getting rejected by hundreds of people. So this was built off a hustle. What is your Freshly hustler story when you're getting off the ground?
I think our biggest hustler story is like when we started raising capital and we were also then scaling. We raised our Series A and it was amazing. We raised $7 million and it was insane. But we also needed to get a building. So I hustled Kraft, who is a massive company, into selling us the building. We paid $7 million for that. But immediately I had another person buy the building from us. That was probably the biggest hustle I've ever done. And then we ended up getting that entire building for free, rent-free for 24 months.
How?
So because we built a great deal for everyone. Kraft got their money, they got the $7 million. The landlord, who ended up becoming our landlord, got the building, which was below market, and a tenant already built in. We got all the equipment for free. And it was just being aggressive at the right time. So I think this is a big thing in life is like understanding risk and be aggressive and know when you can put the chips on the table. And it seemed very aggressive from the outside, and it took a while for my board to get comfortable with it. But it actually wasn't that aggressive because while the money went out of our bank account, within 30 seconds, it was back in the bank account. So it was not really that aggressive move. And I think that was the biggest hustler move I've come up with. The second biggest one, because I got to give you two.
Give me two.
And this is one that I'm always the proudest of, is I was flying over Texas, and I realized that we could expand the market if we started shipping trucks all over. And I landed on the plane, and within 24 hours, we'd had a truck shipped, and we'd had a delivery route, and we expanded. We went from 4 states to 14 states that we shipped to overnight. And it was literally within 24 hours we did that, and that became the entire network. That's kind of standard procedure now if you're doing kind of direct consumer marketing, is you do a lot of your own first mile. But we were one of the first to do it. And it was literally just coming up with an idea on a plane and then executing on that idea within 24 hours. And that ended up being the magic to how we were able to continue to scale, as we went from 2 facilities that can now cover 100% of the country within 3 days of shipping our food, which was magical for us.
How much growth did that lead to? And like the 120 days after that?
We were at a run rate when we did that of 13 million. Within 3 months, we had a run rate of 35 million.
Wow.
So we tripled it, and it was because we expanded our market by 3x overnight, and there was no magic to it. It was
basically
just
built $100 million in enterprise value.
Yes, overnight it was
In a-
magical. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on Street Talk.
Oh,
You're
thank
crushing
you,
it.
my man.
Great to meet you.
Really appreciate it.
And where can we follow? Where can we find you?
You can follow me on Instagram, Mike Wystrach. You can follow my website, Mike Wystrach. There's a lot of info on there, MikeWystrach.com.